Hey everyone, and welcome to day 21 of my horror movie review marathon, and I've got your Wolfman 1941 movie review. After his brother dies, a man returns home only to become bitten by a werewolf. What kind of harebrained circumstances will he get into? So as far as the story goes, released in 1941, this is yet another classic in the Universal Movie Monster Original Collection, where already the weather is eerie, and once the moon comes out, you better lock your doors. A turn of events start to affect the townspeople, and the first thing I said once a group of women just weren't having it was, well, that escalated quickly. I even predicted what would happen once he interacted with a dog, not a werewolf. This is the first time I'm seeing this movie. I actually saw the remake before going back to the original, and in general, certain scenes became predictable regardless of seeing the remake long before this. And it really sets the tone of everything that I would expect from this type of horror film. As far as the casting goes, you've got Lon Chaney Jr., who plays Larry, who will ultimately become the Wolfman. His bite is worse than his pickup lines. Bark. I love how he knows about astronomy and needs a woman to tell him about werewolves, so I kind of love that connection with how they seem to have some kind of suspicion about werewolves and how this all sort of connects, because they kind of talk about it in the intro of this movie. You've also got Evelyn Ankers, who plays Gwen, who I personally love when she schools Larry on wolf knowledge, which is surprising that a guy just returning home doesn't know jack about werewolves. You've even got Bela Lugosi, who goes from playing Dracula to a fortune teller who is a victim of a werewolf, which is a nice cameo to see in this movie. The things that I liked about this movie was that I love how dark everything is, especially with the production design, and you don't want to be anywhere near fog, because once you see the transformation scene when Larry turns into the Wolfman, I just found it executed so well, and it looked really cool. It at times reminded me of Nicolas Cage from Ghost Rider, but this movie just, from the time that this movie was made, it all just looked so cool and better than I ever expected it to be, and it wasn't cheesy or over the top or anything. It looked really cool, even if you see more of the man than the wolf in this film. And I personally would have loved to see the wolf more than at least a few times in this movie. But this movie is fast-paced, and you feel the sheer terror of the people, which makes this film chilling at times. So overall, I would say that The Wolfman is pretty impressive and definitely one of my all-time favorites in this horror collection. So I would highly recommend seeing this movie if you guys haven't or have seen the remake before the original. So I would give this 5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of the Wolfman 1941, and come back tomorrow for day 22 of my horror movie review marathon. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Trial Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.